Shalom, dear brothers. This is Brother Levi. We are going to talk about a prophecy, very important prophecy concerning Israel and the mystery of Babylon. For more information on Hebrew archaeological studies or Hebrew prophecy, you can contact us at the following website, thetorah.webs.com, or you can write us an email to more@dr.com. moreh@dr.com. We wish you shalom and bracha to all you Ahim. Keep seeking the Almighty with fire. Keep reading His Word and keep receiving His Word in your hearts, because we are approaching the end of days, and big prophetical and apocalyptic events are just around the corner. So we're going to do a study, very important study about Israel, brothers. Take this study with fasting and prayer. This is profound information that the Almighty is revealing us right now in the end of days, to be prepared, to be fired for Him, to do what is right, to keep His commandments, to walk as the ancient apostles walked, to be full of the fire that Yeshua had. He's revealing us amazing mysteries, because He says that He was going to reveal us in the last days amazing mysteries, and that His Spirit was going to be upon us, and we were going to prophesy. So He's given us amazing information for all of you, brothers, and this is to be ready for the tribulation and understand the master plan that He has for us. So the study we're going to do, brothers, it has to do with Israel. It has to do with mystery of Babylon, according to Revelation 18. So these two nations, Babylon and Israel, according to Hebrew prophecy, are incredibly important, because, as we said before, prophecy is always around the Hebrew people, the ancient people of Israel, which are His people. Now, the Christians are also His people, because they have been brought into the olive tree through the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach. Now, these two nations, Babylon and Israel, are very important, because Babylon has the biggest concentration of Jewish people, and the same Israel, it has the biggest concentration of Jewish people in the world. So, as we said, Hebrew prophecy is always around the Hebrew people. Now, there are several occasions in the scriptures, in Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51. You can study these chapters at home, and also Revelation 18. It says in several occasions to escape from Babylon. To escape from Babylon, because Babylon is about to be destroyed. And also, it says in several occasions, to escape from Israel and to escape from Jerusalem. I'm going to give you a few verses about escaping from Israel. But before we go that far, let us identify Babylon. According to Jeremiah 50 and 51 and Revelation 18, Babylon was the most powerful nation economically, politically, military, with the biggest concentration of Jewish people. Its capital is a great city by the waters, where the world trade is a mystery of religion. This city, Babylon, makes the whole world drunk with its wine. And as we said in former recordings, there is only one city and one nation that can fulfill all the prophecies of Babylon. This nation is United States, and this great city by the waters is New York. We see the Statue of Liberty as the woman by the waters, the big harlot, leading the whole world astray. It says in the prophecies that when this city falls, the whole world, they will lament the fall of Babylon, and the merchants of the world will say, whoa, now the great city is falling, who is going to buy our merchandise? So when this city falls, according to Bible prophecy, when Babylon falls, the whole world financial system is going to collapse, and there is one city so powerful, one city that has the biggest concentration of gold and money, that if this city falls, the whole world will collapse. This city is not Paris, it's not London, it's not Moscow, it's not Jerusalem, it's not Tokyo, it's not Rio de Janeiro, it's not Los Angeles. This city is New York. If New York falls, the dollar will fall. and this will pave the way for the beast, the false Messiah, Antichrist, to set up the 10 region kingdom with the 10 kings, with a new world economy, with a new world system. Now, according to Bible prophecy, it says that Babylon has the biggest concentration of Jewish people. That's why it says, "Come out of her, my people," who is his people, the Hebrew people. We see in New York about 2 million Hebrews, according to official statistics, and according to unofficial statistics, it's actually about almost 3 million people, of counting everybody that has some sort of a Jewish ancestry. So he's warning us to leave this place, because destruction is gonna come to this place. So he's warning his people to come out of Babylon. Now, Babylon is being set up as a sacrifice, as Nazi Germany was set up as a sacrifice. Now, in the United States, we see the same procedures going that way. Before I explain certain prophetical aspects of the U.S., let us look at this prophecy in Revelation. There is one beast in the book of Revelation that is a lamb, but it speaks like a dragon. A lamb represents the Messiah. It represents the Hebrew believers, and the dragon represents the beast, the devil. So, what could it be, a beast? A beast in Bible prophecy is like a government empire. Like ancient Babylon was a beast, the ancient Persian Empire was a beast, ancient Greece was a beast, ancient Rome was a beast. So beast means also a big empire, big political empire. So when Revelation talks about this beast, a lamb, that looks like a lamb, but it speaks like a dragon, it's talking about a nation that presumes to be a Christian nation, but the government of the nation, the core of the nation, is totally demonic, is totally corrupted. And this lamb, it has to do with the United States. The United States has the biggest concentration of Christian people. It's the Christian boys to the world, the moral boys to the world. So on the outlook, appears to be a Christian believing nation, but in the core of the government is totally satanic. That's why it speaks like a dragon. We see the United States is going to be the first nation that is going to force every single citizen to have a microchip implanted for mind control. Without the chip, citizens won't be able to go to hospitals. It's forcing its citizens to take the swine flu vaccine that destroys your immune system. It's government from the very core. We can see George Washington, Jefferson, all these politicians. They were deep into the occult, into Masonry. We see all these monuments in Washington, the obelisk, and all these pagan Egyptian buildings and Roman buildings. We see the Bohemian Grove, secret club outside of San Francisco where all the politicians meet once a year. And it's a total satanic club where many governors meet, former presidents, big bankers. They do an offering to a statue of a big bird. Is totally demonic. We see this nation is paving the way for the Antichrist. Finance all these dictatorships in South America in the 70s. They have been stealing the oil in several nations in Middle East. They have been financing terrorists in Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Egypt. They have been financing terror in Libya and setting up the Muslim Brotherhood in several countries in the Middle East. And the United States produces 80% of the transgenic food of the world, has been poisoning the entire world with its GMO crops. So the Almighty tells us that Babylon is going to fall. Babylon is being set up by a sacrifice. Satan designed a special scheme, special plan about Babylon that on the outlook it looks like on the surface it looks like a very nice Christian nation, and it was to extend, but right now is turning into a totalitarian dictatorship. And the trick of the enemy, the trick of Satan, that Elohim will destroy him and throw him into the lake of fire for 1,000 years. His trick is try to draw as many Christians as possible to the United States, because through its freedom and prosperity, many missionaries that were persecuted in Africa, Middle East, and South America, and Asia, they came to this nation, they enjoyed the freedom. But for all you brothers, there's a moment to leave this place, as there was a moment to leave Nazi Germany. This nation is being set up as a sacrifice, as it is the lamb that speaks like a dragon. A lamb is a symbol of the sacrifice as well. This nation is going to be sacrificed so that the world economy collapses, and it paves the way for the beast, the son of perdition. So the tactic of the enemy is try to draw as many Jews and as many Christians as possible to this nation. Through its prosperity, they have been welcoming Jews and Christians from South America, Asia, Middle East, or Europe, all sorts of countries. And the tactic of the enemy is that once this nation is full of Jews and full of Christians looking for the religious freedoms, for the economical prosperity and all that, this nation will be destroyed. The plan of the enemy is to destroy the people of Elohim. Is written since the very beginning. So since the enemy is not Elohim, that has supreme wisdom, uses technology, and uses political tactics. So his tactic, since he cannot destroy the people of Elohim because they are all over the world, he's setting up this nation to attract thousands of preachers and thousands of brothers, thousands of Christians. He entices them with the religious freedom and with the economical prosperity to come here, and he wants to destroy this nation. And the idea is to destroy the Christian people, and the Jewish people is a satanic plan. So that's why in Jeremiah 51 it tells us to flee Babylon, and there are so many signs. The first sign that you can research in your home is the Georgia Guidestones. You can go to YouTube and type Georgia Guidestones. It's a monument in Georgia, and there are 10 statements about making one world religion, one world government, reducing the world population to 500 million, which means to kill 95% of the world's population. It says don't be a cancer to the world, and they are talking about having one world language and all this psychopathic plan of darkness. So it's very interesting that they talk about destroy 95% of the world's population, because when we read the book of Revelation, when we read about the seals, the white horse, red horse, black horse, pale horse, and when we read about the wars, Third World War, and all these events, by the time we get to the beast, the Antichrist, about 90% or maybe 95% of the world population will be gone. So it's very interesting, what is written in the book of Revelation and what is written in the Georgia Guidestones, which is the plan that they have for this nation. The second sign has to do with the Denver airport. You can go to YouTube, type Denver airport conspiracies. You are going to see a big prophetical picture in this airport from the sky. It looks, the design of the airport is a gigantic Nazi swastika. You can look at it from the sky, or just go to internet and type Denver Airport Nazi swastika, and it's going to show you the design, the architectural design of the airport in the shape of a Nazi swastika. Underneath the airport there is an underground city, really interesting. It has the biggest landing field in the world, because they want to use it for the elite in Third World War, when many airports are destroyed, and they want to use it also as a concentration camp. So there's an underground city. You can research it all. It's in official papers. It's a Masonic airport built by the Masons. You will see that also in the encyclopedia. And inside the airport there are some really interesting paintings. One painting is about a Nazi soldier and there's millions of dead people, and the cities are destroyed because of a nuclear blast. Then there's another mural of all the nations having peace, coming together and giving their weapons, their swords, to a blonde guy who is a German guy, who is a prototype of the Antichrist, as most of the European monarchs come from Charlemagne, who was a German king. And then there's another mural about a Jewish Christian lady who is there on a coffin, and that's telling us the master plan that they have for this country to eliminate the Christians and the Jewish people, who are the people who serve the Almighty. And there's another mural about all the religions coming together. A lady from Mexico who practices Mayan religion, and then some shaman. There's a American shaman and some people who practice spiritism. So all these pagan religions coming together, which is the religion of the new world that they want to set up. So it's very interesting, all the symbology we see in that airport. You can research that at home on YouTube. We're not going to talk about it so much. We just want to give you a brief explanation. And then at the entrance of the airport, there is a horse that is a really demonic horse, really skinny. You can see the ribs of the horse. You can see its bones, also its veins. You can see them, and it has red eyes with 2 red lights in its red eyes. So it's really demonic. And this horse is like the pale horse of the Book of Revelation, that is so horrible that about just during the plague of the plague horse, 25% of the world's population is gone. So, as it was in Germany, it's going to happen here. Just to give you a little background, the U.S. they financed the Nazi Germans, the Rockefellers, and big bankers from New York. They gave oil to German planes. The grandfather of Bush, Prescott Bush, he was a senator. He was financing the Germans. They were supporting the Germans. And once the war was over, they brought most of those German scientists under a secret operation, to the U.S. We see as they were doing experiments in Germany, putting fluoride in concentration camps. They are doing the same thing in the States, putting fluoride in the water, doing concentration camps like in Germany, doing gun control like in Germany, which is harbinger of the civil war that is coming. Every time in history that a government confiscated people's weapons, it was a harbinger that a revolution was coming. So we see how they have chemtrails. You can go to YouTube if you don't know what a chemtrail is and type chemtrails. It has to do with a poison that the planes are releasing. If you look back in the 80s, when the planes were flying, they used to leave a column of smoke that would disappear like in 5 or 10 or 15 seconds. But right now they are leaving a gigantic column of smoke that can remain there for 20 minutes, half an hour, or even more. That's aluminum gas they are releasing on the atmosphere for weather control, weather manipulation, causing droughts, causing floods, and contaminating the soil, contaminating the crops, and they are trying to contaminate the air so that people will be weaker and will have eventually cancer. So they are doing that. We have another sign. We have also another prophetic sign, which is we see in New York, the Statue of Liberty, and this, which is like the woman by the waters in the Book of Revelation, and we see south of Manhattan a district called Babylon. So the place is literally called Babylon, and it's very interesting because that's the only great city in the world that has a big area of 250,000 people, or a big district called Babylon. There's no other place so important that is called Babylon in the whole world. So that's a very interesting statistic. Now the U.S. is the place with the most sophisticated technology, and they will use it. against its citizens. That's why Jeremiah is telling us to leave Babylon, and he's telling us that Babylon is going to be destroyed. So the same thing that happened in Nazi Germany is coming to this country. Is a setup. Satan wants to bring as many Christians and Jews as possible to this nation. So when the nation is destroyed, his master plan is to destroy as many Jews and Christians. But we know that the Almighty has a plan of escape for his people, because it says in Jeremiah 15:51, it says, escape from Babylon, escape from Babylon. And the second place that is also being set up is Israel. Since the very beginning of Israel, in the Balfour Declaration, proclaimed by Arthur Balfour, Prime Minister of England. He was a Freemason, working for the British Crown. These people were deep into the occult, and they were trying to set up this Zionist regime. So the Hebrews would come back to the land of Israel and would rebuild the temple, the third temple, where the beast, the Antichrist, is coming. That is the master plan of the elite and world government. So Israel has been set up. Chaim Weizmann, who was a president of the Zionist organization, he was into Freemasonry. The same with Herzl, who is called the father of Zionists. He was a Zionist, working for the British Crown as well. He was into the occult and Freemasonry. We see prime ministers of Israel since the very beginning, like David Ben-Gurion. He was into Masonry. We see Golda Meir, the same. She was working with Masons. Yitzhak Rabin, he was working with the Masons as well. For those brothers that don't know what Freemasonry is, you can just type in YouTube, study about Masonry, how since the 1700s is a secret society that has been growing, has been infiltrating every single government in the whole world. It's a satanic religion, and most presidents of the entire world have been Freemasons, and the idea is to unite one world, to make one world, so that when the world is one, the beast is going to show up, because the Antichrist cannot show up till the world is one. So when the world is one, he's going to show up, and he's going to rule the entire world. Masons have been responsible for most of the major economical crisis. We can see Albert Pike. He was a Jewish general, and he wrote about the two world wars at the end of the 1800s. Before they even happened, he talked about the First World War, about overthrowing the Tsars in Russia, making a revolution in Russia, setting up Russia as a fortress of a communism to spread communism to the entire world. He wrote about Second World War, that there was going to be a division between the fascists and the Zionists, and then the Zionists at the end were going to win, and the state of Israel was going to show up. And then he talks about Third World War, which is going to be between the Zionist regime and the Muslim nations around Israel, and it's going to be a really profound conflict that is going to involve the whole world. Is going to bring the whole world into Third World War, and then the world after Third World War will be so destroyed that they will bring one world government, one world religion, one world language, and the Antichrist is going to show up through the whole world for 3.5 years. So we see most prime ministers in Israel were Masons, like Benjamin Netanyahu. Then we have Ehud Barak, Ariel Sharon, and Ehud Olmert. They were all into Masonry. Since the very beginning, the Rockefellers were financing projects in Israel, the establishment of Jewish people in Israel, also the Rothschild family, big bankers from England. They were financing the state of Israel. And we're going to see here some pictures of the Israeli Supreme Court. On the top of the Supreme Court, there's a pyramid with an eye with a circle. That's the master symbol of Freemasonry that is in the back of the dollar bill. Is in the Vatican. Is in so many government buildings around the world. That's in Israel. We see also Shimon Peres, a Mason. He was knighted by the Queen of England as knight according to the order of Saint Michael, which means he's a total puppet, a total pawn of the British crown that wants to set up the kingdom of the Antichrist. And we see a picture when he's shaking hands with the Queen, and he's receiving all these shrines of the Illuminati and the Masonry. It's a total setup. And the idea here is that the same thing they did with the states. They want to concentrate as many people in Israel to destroy the believers. That has been the master plan of the enemy. But as believers are meant to escape Babylon, United States, we're going to go through some prophecies that actually talk about escaping Israel. And the first prophecy is in 2 Samuel 15:14. And it says, we have a prophetical idea here. It says, "And David said unto his servants that were with him in Jerusalem, Arise and let us flee, for we shall not be able to escape from Absalom. Make a speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly, and bring evil upon us, and smite the city with the edge of the sword." So David needed to escape Jerusalem when Absalom took over. Absalom means father of peace. Is a prototype of the Antichrist. The Antichrist is the father of the false peace. So we see also in 2 Kings 19:30, it says, "And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall yet again take root downward and bear fruit upward." So it talks about a remnant of the house of Judah escaping. 2 Kings 19:31, "For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the seal of Yah, Sebaot Elohim, shall do this." So he's talking about a remnant, about a special group of people that is going to escape Jerusalem and is going to escape Mount Zion. Also Yeshua says, when the abomination of desolation is set up in the Kadosh place, is a moment to flee Jerusalem. Israel is being set up since the very beginning. All its leaders, prime ministers, presidents were deep into the occult, in Freemasonries. They were set up by the British Crown, and the idea is that they want to destroy as many Hebrews as possible. We need to understand our true gathering is when Yeshua comes back, when the Messiah comes back. He was going to gather us from the four corners of the world to go to Israel. Then it's going to be our true time to go to Israel. But before he comes back, Israel, since 1948, has been subject to terrorist attacks, bombings, the war of 1948, war with Egypt in the 50s, the Six-Day War in 67, the war in Yom Kippur War in 73, the war with Lebanon, the war against Gaza, against the terrorists, against the Palestinians with intifadas. We see the war against Hezbollah in Lebanon. So Israel has been going through a period of a lot of bloodshed and destruction. And here in Isaiah 4:2, it says, "In that day shall the branch of Yah Elohim be fruitful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for they that escape Israel." For they that escape Israel. So it talks about escape from Israel. The book of Revelation, before Yeshua comes back, talks just destruction is going to hit Israel. It's going to be a third world war. The U.S. is not going to be able to support Israel anymore. It's going to be also destroyed. All the world is going to come against Israel, and there's going to be a massive destruction. At the end, Israel is going to win. But at what price? At what price? It's going to be a really, really heavy price. Israel is going to be totally destroyed, and they will rebuild it again, and they will build the third temple, which is going to be the temple of the beast. So pretty much the whole Armageddon is coming to Israel. Third World War is coming to Israel. Amazing destruction. Then the two witnesses are going to show up, which are going to proclaim a lot of heavy judgments on Israel because of the wickedness that is happening there, like Tel Aviv, one of the capitals of Middle East, in sodomy, homosexuality. witchcraft. A lot of really bad stuff is going on. And then the Antichrist is going to Israel. For 3 years and a half, the beast is going to go to Israel. So we see the Third World War is going to go there, terrible judgment. Then we see the two witnesses are going to proclaim terrible judgment, and then we see the beast. Why you want to be in the place where the beast is going to show up? But according to prophecy, it says Yeshua will gather us once he comes back. Now, let us go to Isaiah 10:20, and it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and those that are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that is smote them, but shall stay upon the Almighty, the Kadosh One of Israel in truth." Isaiah 37:32, "For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion. The seal of El Shaddai shall do this." Isaiah 37:31, it says, "And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward." Jeremiah 24:5 is very interesting. Jeremiah 24:5, you got to read whole Jeremiah 24, because it talks about, it says 24:5, it says, "Thou said, Yah Elohim, the Elohim of Israel, like these good figs, so I will acknowledge them that are carried away captive of Judah, whom I have sent out of this place into the land of Kashdim, into the land of Babylon." So he's talking about in Jeremiah 24 that the good figs represent the Jews that were deported from Israel to Babylon, like Prophet Daniel. Also we see Prophet Ezekiel, because he deported them for their own welfare, to protect them from the destruction that was coming. But in Jeremiah 24:8 it says, and the bad figs, the evil figs, which cannot be eaten, it says, this is like Zedekiah, king of Judah, and his princes, and the residue of Jerusalem that remain in this land, and they that dwell in the land of Egypt. So it says that those that remain were going to be destroyed. So he says in Jeremiah 24 that those that were deported from Israel, he deported them from their own benefit, to protect them, to build them up, to bless them from the destruction that was coming. But those that remain, they are the evil figs, the rotten figs, which means they are going to be the people under judgment that are going to be destroyed. Eventually we see when Babylon came, destroyed completely the city of Jerusalem and everybody that dwell in Jerusalem. So that's why it's very important for you brothers to understand this prophecy, understand all the setup in Israel. Its Masonic roots. Since the beginning, we have the Supreme Court building founded by the Rothschild family. Is in a special park in Israel where the road Rothschild Street connects Supreme Court House with the Knesset, the Parliament. Then is another road, Yitzhak Rabin, a big Mason, and there is another. There's an obelisk as well, which is an Egyptian symbol of sun worship. You know, that's an abomination, and it's very interesting because there is this pyramid with a circle with the eye on the top of the pyramid, which is the master seal of the Illuminati and Masonry and the cult. That's in the Supreme Court of Israel. And then we're going to look at the symbol of the birthright department. Birthright is an institution that is being financed by several Freemasons about paying plane tickets for Jewish people to go to Israel, to fall in love with Israel, and become citizens of Israel. So the symbol of birthright is the hexagram that is called the Star of David. That is not the Star of David, but it's an hexagram, and it has a circle in the middle. If you look at that symbol carefully, you see the triangle with the eye in the middle, and that's the symbol of Masonry, that Israel is being set up for a sacrifice to be totally destroyed as the United States, because the enemy is heading at the United States and Israel, and is trying to send and populate these two countries with as many Jews as possible and as many Christians as possible. So when the moment comes, he's going to destroy two countries, and he's going to take down a big Jewish and Christian population in the world. So this is a message for you, brothers, to be praying, to be fasting, see the way that Elohim is going to guide you. I hope he is blessing you with this prophecy. So if you live in these two countries, these are the worst places to be in the entire tribulation. Europe, which is the belt of the beast, is going to be the worst places. We see that United States, Europe, they have the technology to implement the mark of the beast, the microchip. These are going to be the worst places in the world to be. The same Israel. Middle East is going to be really bad with the increase of fanatic Islam, killing Christians and killing Jews. Asia is full of communist regimes, horrible regimes for Jews and Christians, and the same Africa, and the same Australia. Australia is a total puppet of the UK. They are going to come with this technology against people. So these are going to be the worst places in the whole world to be. The best place in the entire world to be is South America. I'm not talking about Mexico. Mexico and Central America are going to be loaded with criminals and cartels. A lot of killing and kidnapping there is really bad. Also, I don't recommend Colombia and Venezuela, but all the countries from Ecuador down, all those countries will have a bigger probability of survival than the rest of the world. So I ask you, brothers, to fast and pray, and I ask you that this teaching be a blessing to you. Research at home every single piece of information that I have given you, and also about the Rockefeller Museum in Jerusalem. I'm not going to show pictures because there are horrible idols inside this museum. This museum is about 666 meters away from the Dome of the Rock, which is the place where they want to build the third temple, and the prophecies say about the judgment will come down because of the idols, and these Rockefellers are doing witchcraft there because the beast is going to show up there. And inside the museum they have idols from Greece, from Rome, from Babylon, from Canaan, from all these pagan civilizations, horrible statues of female idols and male idols. It's just full of idolatry, that museum. That's another piece of information for you to research. So Israel, as well as United States, is being set up by the elite. It's being set up as a sacrifice, and you, his people, will need to come out of it. Jeremiah warned us, Jeremiah 51 warned us, and Revelation 18 about leaving Babylon, United States, because it will be destroyed. Will be destroyed in Third World War. We see already the concentration camps being set up in the whole country to kill a lot of people, like they did in Nazi Germany. We see all these regulations with gun control and all this food industry and the medical industry. So it's been set up for sacrifice. And also Israel, we saw all the prophecies talking about the escape from Israel, how it's since the very beginning set up by the Illuminati, the occult birthright, this institution bringing tons of Jews to Israel to make Aliyah is totally founded by CIA, Illuminati, Masonry. And we see the symbol about the pyramid with the eye in the middle. Prime ministers of Israel totally sold out to the British crown, including Shimon Peres. And we see the Supreme Court building with a pyramid and the eye on the top that is perfectly aligned with the Rockefeller Museum that is full of idols, and the museum is exactly 666 meters away from the Dome of the Rock, which is the place where they want to build the third temple. So these two places are set up for a sacrifice, and Jeremiah told us to flee Babylon, Jeremiah 51. And Isaiah 4 is telling us those that escape Zion, those that escape Israel. So there's going to be an imminent escape of Israel. Believers shouldn't be in Israel, United States at all. The number one places in the world to flee right away Also, Europe is bad. Africa, Middle East, and Asia is pretty bad, and the same Australia. So pray and fast, brothers, to see the way Elohim will guide you, because the tribulation is coming soon. For more information on Hebrew prophecy and Hebrew archaeological studies, please write us to Moreh, M-O-R-E-H, @dr.com, or you can visit our website at thetorah.webs.com. Shalom and bracha.